Hey everybody, it's Missy. Thanks for joining me again for another process video. Today's layout is for the Hip Kit Club, and this is my first layout using the 2015 January kits, and I had a really tough time trying to decide where to start because every piece in these kits is just amazing and gorgeous. But I finally decided on this basic gray sheet here, and it's white background with little teeny tiny polka dots, light pink polka dots. And I'm going to be doing some mixed media on it, and so I just smudged some white gesso down on most of the paper first. I'm going to come in with this Dazzlers from Shimmers, and it's a texture paste. And if you're not familiar with this, it's just a colored light paste, and when it dries, it's very shimmery and shiny. It's very, very pretty. Very easy to use. You can do just like I'm doing here. You can smudge it straight down onto the paper, or you can run it through a stencil. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. But I just wanted to get some pink on the background here, and so I'm just using my palette knife, and I'm just smudging some on. And it doesn't take a lot. This is a pretty big container, I think, and you don't really need a whole lot there to use it. But it just depends on what you're doing. But for something like this, see how shiny it is? It's very, very cool. So I'm going to use the heat gun here to dry it because I'm impatient and I want to keep going. This is kind of a Valentine page, but because this picture was taken in February a couple years ago, and she is wearing a little Valentine shirt, and so it's kind of Valentine-ish. And there's a lot of really pretty Valentine-related things in the kits this month, but not necessarily everything has to be about Valentine's Day, so you can definitely get a lot out of the kits. A lot of different things you can do. Alright, so I decided this pink was really, really bright, and so I went back over it with some of the white gesso just to kind of tone it down just a little bit. And now I'm using a wet baby wipe to kind of just smudge it in a little more and let some of the pink show through, but it's still kind of muted. I didn't want it so bright. I just wanted to experiment here. So I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to come in with this beautiful wood veneer from Crate Paper from the Hello Love collection, and I'm going to emboss some of it. I'm just going to emboss the love part, and my embossing fluid there is in a bottle. I got that at Michael's, and it's by Stampendous, and it's the same stuff that you would get out of an ink pad, except it's just in a little dabber bottle there. It's nothing fancy, but I like it because you can kind of control things like this, and it's just always out on my desk, and so that's what I tend to use. And so I decided to just do something different here, for me anyway, and just emboss the bottom part of the wood veneer with some gold embossing powder, and that's just the Recollections brand from Michael's, and I like how it works. I always think it looks really pretty every time I use it, and I love watching embossing powder melt. I know it's kind of hard to see here because of my lighting, but it just kind of melts and gets shiny. I love it. Sparkly. Alright, so I'm going to change up some of the shades in my background here, and I pulled out this watercolor pencil set from, gosh, several color kits ago, and I'm using the peachy color, and I'm just going over parts of this background and using my water brush to kind of smudge some of the color around. I wanted to change up some of the tones and not make it just one solid pink color. I wanted to add some different things, and so this peachy pink pencil is going to give me, you know, a couple of different shades there, and I like how it winds up looking. And I can't remember. I think these were from the October kits, maybe. And I really like how that looks. I'm going to come in now with a gelato, and this is a different shade of pink. And I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of smudge it on in a couple of different places and use my water brush there. And wow, I'm going really fast there. In real time, I was not going that fast. Sorry, I don't know why that's making me laugh, but that water brush is flying. Wow, my whole video is not that fast. Okay. So I got my background done, and I love the different colors in it. I'm going to add in some tissue paper left over from Christmas because I have a ton of it, and I'm just going to layer it behind my picture there. I love this picture. It's of Paige, and she just looks adorable in her little red Valentine shirt. So I'm going to use a couple different papers here, and I'm just going to make some layers behind my picture. And I have a really hard time cutting into these papers because they're all so pretty. But I just said, you know what? Just do it. Just cut in, especially this one here, this geometric one from Crate Paper. I'm so glad I have 2 copies of it because, yeah, I just cut into it. I know everyone's probably going, no, don't cut into that paper. But I actually have two sheets of that from the kits, and then I have 2 sheets of it from when I just ordered it when it first came out. So I actually have a few copies of that paper. So I do tend to use it for some other projects as well. Alright, so I'm going to add in some tangled thread, and this is in that aqua color, or teal. And I just wanted some pop of color over there on the right, and so that's what I'm doing here. And I also added in one of the My Mind's Eye 3x4 cards there too as a layering piece. So I just wanted a nice big chunk of aqua over here on the right, and I play around with embellishments. I'm not sure what I'm going to add on the right there. I decided on this globe mainly because of the color. The layout itself really, didn't really have anything to do with a globe, I guess you could say, but I like the color, and you can't even really tell it's a globe the way I have it layered. And I'm gonna layer this shiny gold glittery heart on top of it. But first I'm gonna stick my picture down, and I do use pop dots just to give it some depth there. And the Hello Love is gonna go right to the left of it, and that's gonna be mostly the title, I guess. I'm gonna have several different phrases or words on here, but that's going to be my main one. So I'm going to come into these My Mind's Eye rub-ons, and I'm going to use this butterfly. There's a lot of the My Mind's Eye My Story collection, as well as the Crate Paper Hello Love, and they go really well together. I think it's fun to mix and match, and I really like this butterfly, so I'm going to use that. Alright, I just had to use the Heidi Swap Gold texture paste and this exclusive heart stencil that also comes in the color kit. And I'm just doing the simple, smudging the paste through the stencil here. And since this does come in a tube, I just squeeze it directly onto my palette knife. And I wanted to kind of create a little bit of a confetti look with the hearts, and I smudged a little bit, so I'm going to scrape off some of the mess that I made there. So I'm going to do some of this gold hearts up at the left right there, and then a little bit here underneath where the picture is. And this stuff dries really nice. It's very shiny and very metallic, and I know that I'm going to be using it on lots of other things. And it's gold. You can't go wrong with gold, ever, I think. Alright, so I'm going to kind of make another title, I guess you could say here. I'm going to fussy cut XOXO from this pattern paper, and my design winds up kind of coming into a V shape. I'm wide at the top with the picture and the wood veneer, and then it's going to get more narrow and narrow as we go to the bottom, and you'll see what I'm talking about here as we go. Before I glue down the Hello Love wood, I'm going to add in some more of that aqua teal thread over there on the left. And I'm going to glue all of that down. And I like all the different pinks going on here. I actually didn't use any red in the layout at all, except for the red in the picture. And I think when I think of Valentine's Day things, I think of red and pink, and so I think they go well together in a lovey-dovey type layout. And this isn't necessarily a lovey-dovey layout, I guess you could say, but it's got a Valentine vibe to it. Now these words, vellum words, I'm not sure what collection they're from. They may be exclusives. I'm not 100% sure, but they are in one of the kits, and I just had to use one. I love the color, and I love that they're vellum. Very, very delicate. And I love the pop of color that it gives down to the bottom. And as you can see here, my layout is actually coming into, it almost looks like a heart. I just realized that looking at it from this angle here on the camera. I'm going to add in that geometric chipboard heart and a couple of the crepe paper glitter heart stickers. And I did some stitching off camera. I stitched through the XOXO and through that chipboard heart. And that's all the stitching that I wind up doing because there really wasn't anywhere else to stitch and I didn't feel like it needed it anywhere else. These are Heidi Swapp gold stickers and I just added in a couple of those cute little arrows. And then I'm going to go around and just add a couple more things. I'm going to add in that chipboard heart at the top left. Well, I guess it's not really the top, but to the left of the wood veneer. And then I'm going to use some more shimmers, and this is from my stash. Some colorings there to add some splattering. And that's in an aqua teal color. These are My Mind's Eye brads, and they are in the kits as well. And it's one thing I love about My Mind's Eye is they always include good old-fashioned brads. And I know a lot of collections have brads that are adhesive, and I love those too. But I don't know. I kind of like sticking a hole through my paper and, you know, pulling the prongs apart on the other side. I don't know why. Is that weird? I just like brads, and My Mind's Eye always has really, really nice brads in most of their collections. Now this sticker sheet is also from My Mind's Eye, and that's the My Story collection, and I'm just going to use a couple of the little word stickers down at the bottom. And then I'm going to add my date and just a little bit of journaling. And I didn't really know where to put my journaling at first because of the nature of the design. I didn't want to make one side heavier than the other. So I just added a couple of lines down here at the bottom. And, you know, it wasn't a huge event. It was just a cute picture. And so I didn't feel like it needed a lot of journaling. And there's the final layout. I love how it turned out. I think it was really, really fun to do. And I highly recommend the texture paste from Heidi Swapp and shimmers. So get your hands on the color kit if you know, you want to try something like this. And please let me know if you have any questions about any of these products or anything that I did here. This was a lot of fun to put together, and I cannot wait to make more layouts with these kits because they are gorgeous. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.